am Senta Curran from the George Thompson Agency up on the corner, and this is my assistant, Corey. Hello.
George Thompson, my best friend. I love that little old man. Used to come into the Pine Bush restaurant. I was a waitress there. Yeah, he never left me a quarter. I said, "You cheap little son of a gun." He used to laugh.
And we're going to discuss, it's just a general educational meeting. We're not going to go over any of the different plans. We're just going to give you some, and if you ever want to stop in, we can give you some of the books and you can look at them or whatever on the plans that are in our office. What we first are going to do are some of the changes to Medicare for 2021, okay? So everybody knows about Part B. You have to have it.
What?
B.
You're telling me?
Yep, Part B. Part B is now going from $144.60 a month to $148.50.
You know what? 144 went mine this year, and I don't know why.
And the deductible is going from $198 to $203. Now, the deductible will not impact people that are on Medicare Advantage plans, but it might impact people that are on strictly Medicare, because some people are just on Medicare and a Part D, or Medicare and a supplement, depending if their supplement picks up the Part B deductible. So that's where you would be impacted. And the deductible for the hospital, Part A, is going to $1,484 from $1,408 in 2020.
Wow.
Okay. Medicare Advantage is growing. Well, we see all those advertisements on TV, right? It's constant. We were going to about 26 million people on Medicare Advantage plans. And the average cost has decreased by $2 to $21 a month for a Medicare Advantage plan.
Just to jump in real quick,
Yep.
some of you may have heard Medicare Advantage referred to as a Part C, as
that's
in
right.
Charlie as well. So a Part C is a Medicare Advantage plan is what they're
Right.
referring to. Just for clarification. 'Cause
Yeah,
some
but how
people
much
get
is
that
the
confused.
difference on if you want Part C? How much would be your insurance different, money-wise?
It all depends
Depends
on
on
your
the plan.
prescriptions,
Yep, and
your
your
doctors, and the plan that you enroll in.
There you go. Okay, go ahead.
Okay?
Sure.
The maximum out-of-pocket, now this is not on original Medicare, because don't forget, we have two different Medicares in a sense in this country. We have original Medicare over here where people stay in Medicare, they're in Part A and B, they may get a supplement, and they have to get a Part D, which is your prescription drug plan. And then we have Medicare Advantage plans, which you see advertised constantly,
You got
and
it.
that the United States or the government pays those companies, Aetna, MVP, United Healthcare, Humana, to Fidelis, right, Emblem, to administer your care. So when you sign up for that plan and you pay your premium, it goes to CMS, and CMS knows you're signed up in that plan, and then Medicare reimburses an Aetna or an Emblem for your care, and they manage it. And basically Medicare did that because they felt that it would save them money, because the fraud in Medicare is horrendous. I believe it's $65 billion a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's outrageous. So they were hoping that a company that deals in health would be better at detecting fraud than Medicare. Who knows? So that's what that is. So in that case, you have, in all the plans, a maximum out-of-pocket, meaning if you became deathly ill and hospitalized and went to the doctor and the whole works, when your copays, what you out-of-pocketed, not your premium for the plan or your prescription drugs, reach $7,550 for this year, the plan will kick in at 100%.
That's all the plans have the same amount?
They
Well-
can have low, oh, you
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead, no.
some can have lower, but also what I was gonna chime in with is if you go into a PPO plan, a preferred provider organization, which allows you to go out of network to see another doctor, maybe another specialist. As long as that doctor accepts the out-of-network benefit, you're gonna pay a higher copay or a higher co-share. As soon as you step out of network, your cap goes up to
10,000
10,000 this year, but it's 11,000, like
for
what,
2021,
550 for 2021.
21.
So you're better off with the supplement then?
Again, it's an individual, it's on an individual basis. It depends on how many times you go to the doctor, do you see specialists, we go through a whole list to kind of calculate which way is better for you. Are you gonna have hip surgery, are you gonna have to go to, physical therapy, or are you gonna have copay? So each person is different. So to just randomly sign up and not know if your prescriptions are in the plan or your doctors are in the plan can be detrimental to you. So, but that is your maximum out of pocket. So we only had one person ever hit it. And he was hospitalized this was a long time ago, back when it was like 5,500. And he did make the out of pocket limit on that. And for your prescriptions, the deductible is going from $435. This is what Medicare says. When we say $7,550 or whatever, that's what Medicare says you can have as the highest amount, all right? You can't go higher, when you're doing a plan. Like, these are the limits. And so this year, what is it, $445 is the highest limit you can have for a deductible for a prescription drug plan. You can have lower, but you can't go above. And next year it will be $455. So they're just creeping up there. But, so these are some of the change, sure.
Yeah, if you meet the, $455, if you pay that much in, is the rest no charge?
No. And again, this is just very generalized information because each plan is different. Some plans have a deductible only on tiers 3 and 4. Some plans have a deductible on tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's unique, and what drives it are the prescriptions and where you go to the pharmacy for what plans we put people in for prescriptions, because you may use Rite Aid or Walgreens, and the plan you want may not participate with Walgreens.
Yes, they have preferred cost sharing, which is what you're looking for. It's a lower cost share on your end versus a standard co-share. There are some plans out there that I've seen more or less with Medicare Advantage that do not do a preferred. They're standard across the board, so it doesn't matter what pharmacy you use, you may save by using their mail order. But that's always a key to check, is to see if you're in a
Also,
preferred pharmacy.
Buybush Pharmacy is like a private pharmacy. So now you could go with him, because I've been with him for many years, you could go with him with your prescription medication, or you could get the not the generic, which is gonna run you a lot of money, because this insurance company, a lot of them do not pay the generic, because that's gonna put you in what they call is a donut hole.
The brand, you
And
mean.
once you get into the donut hole, which is your title to, you gotta pay the extra.
Donut hole is closed,
Yes, that's, yeah, right.
supposedly.
So that's what it was, the story.
Okay, they closed the donut hole,
Right,
this year. Well, actually, in 2020, the donut hole was closed.
it's the, right,
So now, when you hit the donut hole, or you've satisfied the 4,000, let me see, there's a new one for this one too. What is it? Catastrophic has gone from $6,350 to $6,550. All right? So when you head into, once your initial coverage is done and you've out-of-pocketed so much money, then now you will just pay 25% of the cost of the prescription, the negotiated cost. So before, if you had a $20 copayment, say for, I don't know, some prescription, while you were first going, you'd satisfied your deductible, you're going to the pharmacy, you pay 20 bucks. If you accrued that much money, you know, spending between you and the prescription drug company, you then enter the next phase. And now you would just pay 25%. So if the prescription cost $100, you would pay 25. And the rebate, as they call it, would pick up the $75 difference. So that's how it now works. So the donut hole, in a way, is closed, but people still do go into catastrophic, they call it catastrophic, like one drug can be $15,000 a month, and you're in and out and done the first month, so.
And then what you would get every other time you needed it would be free?
No.
No.
No, you would have a copay of 5% once you hit catastrophic of the, usually it's 5% on a brand of the cost of the drug. Because we had a lady, $15,000 a month. And so when she hit catastrophic, she was in and out in 1 month. She paid like $605, and I calculated it, and it was like 5% of the $15,000 a month that the prescription cost. So that was her copay if she had not gotten assistance. You know, so drugs or prescriptions are very difficult because there's so many of them, and each drug plan targets different. They all have to cover certain prescriptions. You have to have full, you know, for a statin, you've got to have like 3 statins. For Lipitor, Simvastatin, they all have those. Crestor. What other ones? High blood pressure medicine, right? But then you get into, say, Eliquis and those type. Some do not cover that drug. They have a different drug. So then you have to find where that drug is covered. Because if the drug is not covered and you pay out of pocket, it doesn't go towards your maximum out of pocket for Medicare. It's like, you know, you never filled it. So we always make sure everything is on formulary.
If a particular drug is not on formulary that you have to take, your doctor can fill out what's called a formulary exception. The doctor fills it out and submits it to the insurance company to fight to get that drug on formulary for you. If they bring it on formulary, they usually bring it in a high tier, usually a tier 4, a brand drug. You can then fight it and try and do a tiering exception to bring it down another tier to lower the cost of the drug. And it can be done, like I said, through the doctor. The carriers have the forms. Some of the doctors have them and they submit them, and it is always suggested if it's denied the first time to try again.
Yes, because they'll deny you, you know, I mean, and then if you persist many times, the second time you can get it covered so that it counts towards your out of pocket. If you go to a pharmacy that they do not participate with at all, because there's preferred pharmacies and there's standard pharmacies, and then there's out-of-network pharmacies. None of your prescription drug costs count towards your out-of-pocket. So always be aware of the pharmacies that they like, and you can pick a preferred or a standard. You save some on a preferred. So
I got extra help for, I would have to say about 6, 7, well, a couple of years after I retired, and my husband passed away, I got his money. Anyway, it wasn't that much, but doesn't matter. A couple of years in a row, we got the Social Security raise.
Right.
And I had extra help till then.
Right.
So I was saved with the B, and a D I paid for anyway, so don't matter. Now suddenly this year, last year, December or November, I get a letter that extra help cannot help you because you got a raise this year and last year. And I figured that my raise on the Social Security, you were talking about $10, $12 a month. In the meantime, my B, which is the doctor, went up to $144 a month. So I wrote a letter to Social Security and I said, whoever made this concern, take back your $40-some or $20, whatever you gave me, and give me back my $144. I was furious. So now, what happened is that they sent me a letter. If I want to find that, I could go back to extra help
Oh, you
and
know
see
what?
what happens.
She's talking Epic.
So,
You reminded me of something. We brought
Okay.
the Epic applications for anybody that wants to apply for Epic and doesn't have it currently.
What is it?
I was just gonna say, does anybody not know what Epic is? Okay.
Okay, you go.
It is a pharmaceutical assistance program
right,
offered to people ages 65 and older.
Yeah.
Okay, there are people under 65 that are on Medicare, but they are not eligible for Epic. You have to be 65. It is not insurance. You have to have a Part D prescription drug plan in order to enroll in Epic. It can help to pay, I should start over. There's 2 plans in Epic. There's a fee plan and a deductible plan, okay? What I'm gonna tell you is gonna sound really crazy.
But this is New York State, so just hold on.
The fee plan has a cost where you pay quarterly for Epic. People with a lower income will pay for Epic. People with a higher income will go into a deductible plan and not pay.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No.
No,
Thank you.
that's what we say.
What it does is, with the fee plan, you get first dollar assistance with Epic for your Part D. They will cover up to the benchmark that's set by the government for the year of your Part D premium,
Right.
which I believe 2021 is about $40.
$40, this
Okay.
year, $40.
it's gonna be 100 in January.
No, we're
They
talking
sent me a
on,
letter.
okay, but right now, they
Right now.
reimburse $40
Right now.
for 2020.
So that will help reduce your Part D premium, whether it's a standalone prescription drug plan or if it's a Medicare Advantage plan. Medicare Advantage plans with premiums, most of them break down their premium between medical and
And
drug.
drug,
So it'll help pick up that portion. So say you enroll in a $36 plan and it's $40 and you get the assistance, you're not gonna pay your premium for your prescription drug plan. And it will give you lower co-pays right
Right.
off the bat, no more than 20.
yeah,
like-
3, 5, 12, 8, and 20, is it?
Yeah,
3, 5, and 8, I think you're right.
and no more than $20
Right, for some of them.
for some of them.
And what's the percentage of the people that use Epic?
Oh, we have a lot, because,
No, not a lot, but is it really something, really?
You would recommend, or
Oh,
No,
we
not
were-
recommend, but is it impressive?
It can be, another reason
Yeah,
is.
tell them why we
Maybe I
put 'em
don't
in
like
it.
either.
Another reason is if you're in the deductible plan, you don't pay for Epic, okay? You satisfy your Part D deductible,
It doesn't sound, from people that I talk to, I don't hear too much about Epic.
it allows you to leave, I'm sorry.
No,
you tell
that's
it.
You know what
okay.
I mean? Like, they don't leave me with a good
It's-
impression of
it's not-
doing Epic.
it's not insurance, it can
Right.
help you, because what happens is, with a deductible plan, you meet your deductible in your plan, then you satisfy Epic, and it will give you help.
Yeah.
Say you don't even meet your deductible, but you're in an Advantage plan, and you have to have surgery, and the surgeon you wanna use is not in network, you can't go, you're in a plan. You wanna supplement, because you're gonna have the surgery, you're gonna have, rehab, you're gonna have physical therapy, you really wanna supplement.
What other,
Epic allows you a one-time plan change
Wow.
throughout the year.
What
So
other-
if you are in something you're not happy with, you can move for the first of the following year.
what other plans are there besides Epic? What
Epic
else
is
that?
not a plan.
I mean, not a plan, I'm using the wrong terms. because I'm not educated too much with this.
Well, there's low
But,
income
I know,
subsidies.
but like, what else would there be?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
'Cause it's
So
a-
if you don't have Epic, I mean, if you didn't have Epic, there's nothing else to consider. No other thing.
Assistant, well, right, because it's
Yeah.
run through New York State. It's
Okay.
each state,
Yeah.
not every
State
state
has
has a
it.
pharmaceutical assistance
I
program, but
understand.
New York
Okay.
State does.
I got you.
Yeah, so
And
it's separate.
Okay.
We use it as like a get out of jail free card.
Didn't we get the book? I got the book already for the 2021, the big book. I hate to read, that's why I'm here. They have everything in there. I'll leave it to you and you could look it up,
No, that's okay.
the difference.
You look it up for me.
But especially
Okay.
if Epic is no cost to you, it's a good idea to have it. You don't have to, you can enroll in Epic at any time during the year. You don't have to enroll in Epic like now or the beginning of the year. You can enroll in it at any time. We had a gentleman whose health changed dramatically and he knew he was gonna incur a lot of out-of-pocket expenses and wanted a supplement to go into the hospital he wanted. And we requested a special enrollment period with Epic, got him in it, got him changed and got him moved. So it can be handy. It can be handy with your prescriptions if you take a lot and reducing the cost of your
Right,
prescription
right.
drug plan. It all depends on your needs.
Or you get a prescription after you've signed up for, say, a plan, and you can't get it covered, then you can change to another plan with Epic. You get a
Yeah,
one-time
I
charge.
have that list at home, and they ask you on the phone what medication you take, and they tell you if they cover it all or not.
Right, right,
Yes.
right.
Okay?
There's one more change,
Uh-huh.
okay? And that's before people with end-stage renal disease could not sign up for Medicare Advantage plans.
What is that?
Seriously?
Yes, yes.
You can sign up for what?
If you had end-stage renal disease and you were
Oh.
not in a Medicare Advantage plan
Oh,
prior, and you wanted to sign up for a Medicare Advantage plan, you were not allowed to sign
Okay.
up. Coming 2021, you can now sign up if you have end-stage renal disease
Oh.
for a Medicare Advantage plan. So, you know, in a sense, that's pretty good because some of those people, they just couldn't get the plan. They had to either stay on original Medicare or go to a special needs plan, which they also have.
Talking about special needs plans,
Yes.
I think you've all seen and heard a lot of the commercials on TV. Make sure you get the benefits and the changes of Medicare for 2021. Are you taking advantage of all you can with Medicare? Those are a lot of commercials for the Medicare Advantage plans. They have to cover everything that original Medicare does, and they can offer some perks, and I'm sure you've heard them. Vision, dental, hearing aids, over-the-counter cards, transportation, fitness benefits. Some of those perks or extras are in the Medicare Advantage plans that are out there. Not all the benefits are to every individual. Some of those particular benefits or higher allotments of benefits are for people who are, what Senta said, dual eligible, meaning they have both Medicare and Medicaid.
And then they have special plans for those people. And you have to show, you know, we call a special number.
That's why I want the special plan.
Yeah, I did
Uh-huh.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a guy call me, he goes, I want dentures. I said, he goes, I saw that advertised. I said, you and everybody else, we've had so many calls for dentures, but anyway.
but some of the plans do offer, they will,
do.
Yeah.
and it's not insurance, it's a perk, it's an allowance, it's an extra.
An incentive.
An incentive, and one thing we wanna mention is, if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, and it has some type of dental allowance, reimbursement, dental perk, something like that, you have to make sure that your dentist has not opted out of Medicare. If your dentist has opted out of Medicare, and especially if you have a reimbursement, meaning you pay out of pocket and you're reimbursed by the carrier, they are
No.
not gonna reimburse you. The dentist cannot opt out of Medicare.
And there is actually an opt-out website you can go on.
In,
Right, and you can put in your zip code and it'll show you all the doctors that opt out of
Of
Medicare.
Medicare.
That's true for a Medicare Advantage plan. For your doctor, if he opts out, he's supposed to have you sign something that you know you will be responsible for the total bill. Even if they don't accept assignment, meaning they accept Medicare, but they don't accept what Medicare pays them. In New York State, they're allowed to charge 5% more. They have to tell you that up front. But then there's other doctors that have withdrawn from Medicare totally because of the payment and the compensation for what they do. And if you go to those, it's totally on you.
Do you foresee in the future that regular Medicare and, for me, I have United Healthcare, do you foresee in the future that anybody, either one of those two, are going to cover vision and dental? It's really difficult for people like me, when my glasses cost me $800, and if I'm lucky, they'll tell me that I can deduct $40 from IMED, and then I have to fight with them to have that done.
I know.
And I have to pay to keep my teeth clean, or cavities filled. And here we are, we're older citizens, and what do we need? We need vision and teeth. And if we
Right.
don't
I
get
know. Well, you
that,
know,
no help.
when original Medicare was devised, and I think it started in 1965 with Part A maybe, they didn't put in any dental or eyeglass. I mean, now, original Medicare still does not have any dental, except say if you fell down and you had an emergency surgery, then it would fall under either Part B or wherever it was done. So there is no eyeglass wear and there is no dental in original Medicare. These plans try to, offer some. Usually what's $250, would you say, is the amount they give for eyeglasses, some of them?
Some of them, 200, 250. Some of them you can go to any eyewear provider, pick out your glasses, submit the bill
Bill.
for reimbursement. Some want you to go to
To
their
theirs.
provider, so it'll take your $200 or $250 a little bit further, because if it's out of network, you may pay more.
One time they called me, I asked about hearing aids, they said, oh yeah, we give you $100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's not gonna change.
I mean, hearing is very important to people and they pick up very limited hearing. Some of them will buy one hearing aid every 2 years and give like $1,200. I'm just pulling a figure, but it's not, I know that some of them cost like $3,000 or $4,000.
Yep.
So, and they want you to go to a certain place.
So
and
really,
get
it's
it.
no advantage.
No, I mean,
I'm better off with my regular Medicare I have and my ARP. I don't have to pay anything now. I have 2 very expensive drugs I take with my nebulizer monthly.
right,
Over $1,500. I never pay a cent for it.
right, no, I know. It
And you're
depends.
afraid to change.
Yes,
because-
because you don't know what you're going to
Right,
get.
what you're gonna get into, yeah.
But for some people, that's not even a question because they could not afford
Right.
a supplement because the supplement is more costly, and a prescription drug plan. So these Advantage plans, some of them are zero, so that works very well for them. So it's very difficult, we're in a difficult situation here as people age in and more people are turning 65 and, we're going to have to probably think about how we're gonna handle it.
Back to the Epic for a minute.
Yes.
Does that have to be renewed each year? Do you have to reapply?
No, they, actually, I made a call yesterday up to Epic for a client, because she thought it was every 2 years, and she was concerned because she hadn't received her form. The renewals, if they are checking to your income, basically is what it is to check on, the forms go out in December, mid to late December, for any changes,
Right.
technically to go into effect for the new year, but they will mail it to you if they need any updated information.
Okay, thanks.
And you can, if you didn't apply for Epic in January or whatever, and you wanted to apply for Epic in March, it's not a problem. You just fill out the form, send it up, as long as you're within their income limits, which are currently, what, 75,000 for a single and 100,000 for
I think
a couple?
80 and 100? Is it
80, and maybe 80 and 100. So if your adjusted gross is under like 80,000, you're eligible for Epic as a single and 100,000 as a couple. If it's over, then you're not
I
eligible.
ain't got that in a lifetime.
And you have to live in New York State, of course, to be in and you have to be 65 or older. And that's all the requirements
Gene,
are.
that's only one question.
Once you sign up for Epic, do you have to use it?
No, we just sign people up so that they can move if they have to.
Okay.
I mean, if it can really benefit somebody
Some of
to
them it
really,
does.
I mean, some of them have so many prescriptions that are so expensive. If they get the assistance, of course, what we do is if they're paying for it, we're gonna look at their quarterly payment. We're gonna see how much assistance they're gonna get and how much it's gonna be. If it's not worth it, we don't enroll them in it, because why pay for something that, you know, you're not gonna use? That's what I was, you know, if they don't take prescriptions, why would they pay for Epic, you know?
Right.
Right.
Unless they got really stuck in a hard spot.
Right,
But usually it's like we said, it's just a chance to move somebody.
Right.
And talking about moving plan changes, you know, if you make a change during AEP, which we're in now through December 7th, you can change as many times as you want.
It's the last one in.
The last one in
Midnight.
wins on December 7th. If you are in a Medicare Advantage plan, and if you are unhappy, January 1st to March 31st, that is called OEP, the open enrollment period, and people in a Medicare Advantage can make a one-time change during those 3 months. So if you made a change in January, it's gonna be effective for February for March for April, but it's one-time change during those 3 months, and it's only available to people in Medicare Advantage
Advantage.
plans.
Not for supplements.
When do you change your supplement if you want to?
Oh, you can change it anytime.
You can, yes,
Anytime during the year?
Yep, that's, we've had guys come in, they're gonna have a knee operation, you know, and they were in the lower one, they'll go, we'll put them in the F. They have no copays, and then once it's all done, they go back to the original one. People that are aging in, for 2020, January 1st, they cannot have the F plan. Because Congress ruled that it made people use the plan too much because they had no out-of-pocket. Don't you love it?
Yeah.
so it was replaced with the G,
G,
which basically you
Has
just have the
Part B
deductible,
which is, again, what was it, $203.
and then it becomes the F plan with no copays.
After that.
So we get a lot of people, yeah,
Why do I have a copay?
You may be in another plan, like an N plan, you have a copay, G plan, K plan,
if it's
L
about
plan.
$155 or $63, it's probably the end plan. You have about
150.
yeah, it's probably, yeah.
155, yeah, you're probably in the N plan. It depends upon your carrier. That's the other thing, I'm glad you brought that up. You can go on New York State's website. It's a little convoluted, but New York State Department of Finance. Go in, hit individual, and up will come a window. Hit Medicare, up will come another window, okay? And you'll see supplements. Click on the supplements prices. That's how we see what prices are available. We type in the zip code and it comes right across the whole state. All the plans that are available on supplements, now we're talking supplements, and what the costs are, driven by zip code, because it's all driven by zip code. Even our Medicare Advantage plans are driven by zip code, because you're reimbursed, they're reimbursed at different rates. New York City is reimbursed more, the doctors there, than here, and upstate is reimbursed less. So, but, you know, if you ever wanted to do that, you could see which ones participate in the N plan, and then you could see what the prices were. Now, they could raise them, and they do, you know, on an annual basis, not a lot, but they do.
That's, some of you may have received, if you're in a supplement, and depending on the carrier and the plan you're in, you may have already received a letter that your premium was gonna be going up for 2021. We received notice that they decided to put a freeze on that, so you may have gotten a second letter saying your premium is not going up. It all depends on the plan and the carrier. They are holding, for premium increases until possibly, what was it, May?
May,
Possibly
because
May.
of the COVID.
And is it because of the COVID, they were gonna hold the price increases? Because they were projected price increases, they weren't approved by the Department of Finance as of yet. But we got notification that they decided to hold the premiums for right now. And anybody enrolling in one, I think they said they were holding the premium for 6 months.
Right.
So, just to let you know.
Another change is you have now telemed order added to your, you know, the way that you can go to a doctor. And they added dermatologists, primary care physicians. So if anybody wanted to do telemed, basically it's approved and the doctors are reimbursed by Medicare, certain specialties. Not that anybody wants telemed, but, you know,
I find out if you go into Advantage on any of the insurance company, and I research every one of them, is always a heavy duty copay.
well,
Okay.
there's no,
So
right.
I have United Healthcare and I have Medicare RX. I have A and B, which just hit me 144 this year. And the D I'll pay myself, which is $50 a month this year. But it's gonna go up to be 100 as of January. They already sent me a letter, and that's my medicine. And I think it's, well, it is a lot of money, my medicine, I have to say that, so I can't even fight it, but that's what it is.
That's another,
Medicare RX is from AARP. They're going up to be 100. I just got the letter.
that's something that I wanted to definitely mention is, I know, like Medicare Advantage, it's always important to evaluate your coverage every year. Because you don't know if a doctor pulls out, you don't know if a prescription changed. It's always good just to check, to make sure that the plan you're in is still good and your prescriptions are covered. We all get that annual notice of change, an ANOC, before the new year that shows your changes. Not everybody reads them. And I don't blame you, it's as long and it's boring, but it's important to make sure your doctors are still in it if you're in an Advantage plan and your prescriptions are covered. So if you're in original Medicare with a standalone prescription drug plan, it's important to check your prescriptions every year to make sure that they're still covered good for you. Because plans can change their formularies. The deductible could come into play, the deductible could go a lot higher and you don't realize you're gonna get whacked with the $445 when you had like a $280 deductible before. So it all goes into, you know, to look at. When we look at somebody's prescriptions, we take into consideration the premium, the deductible, and the co-share or co-payments for your drugs, and we look at the total yearly estimated annual cost is what we look at. So,
And don't forget, we should deduct that we need the secretary to explain all this to us yearly, because everything changes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
I was just thinking of something.
any questions?
Yeah, questions? Anybody have questions? Oh, I know what I was thinking of too. When you wanna check things out, go to like Medicare.gov, but make sure it's really Medicare.gov, because so many of them say Medicare.gov and you click on it and all of a sudden you have a face in front of you and it says, call us. So they all are using that you know, Medicare part so that it brings it up in your Google search. But if you want to put in your prescriptions, you can do that. And then you can run it, that's what we use. And we can see if your prescriptions, because every company that sells prescriptions and also Medicare Advantage plans has to download to Medicare.gov all of their prescriptions, all of their tiers, and all of their pricing. And you will see a real wide variety when you run. Usually you can pick 3 or 4, and also you can put in your pharmacies. Some you'll see some of them don't have that prescription at all, and others do. So that's a good way to take a look at your prescriptions, because they drive part of your decision besides your doctor. Because if you go into a Medicare Advantage plan and your doctor pulls out, Medicare doesn't care. You can't say, well, he left, I want to change plans. You have to have either open enrollment or an Epic after that.
We had that this year with a particular group pulling out of a plan, and it was supposed to be effective, what was it, I think, October 1st?
Uh-huh.
And so we had, a couple people in panic because that's where their primary was, and they're like, don't I have a special enrollment period? And we're like, no, the company feels you can just change your provider. But because of COVID, they ended up waiting to the end of the year before they pulled out, which was a good thing for a couple of our clients, but, we'll make sure we get them moved for next year.
So any questions? So many. You're always welcome to come up and ask them.
I know where to find you, so if I have a question.
Yeah. Because it's very confusing, and
Oh, tell
always,
me about it.
we're always
I've
learning.
been on a Medicare supplement
Mhm.
since I started, and I have the most expensive one,
Mm-hmm.
because I have a lot of issues, and it got even more expensive, and it's like, I can't afford that now. So then I started looking at the lesser
Mm-hmm.
supplement plans, and also, Advantage plans,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just even more confused.
Plan, if you're in the higher supplement plan, we've noticed for a lot of people, Plan N is like a middle of the road. It's about $162.50 or $155, depending on
Right.
which carrier you take it in. And supplements are standardized, meaning Plan N, Plan G, Plan F,
Right.
and AARP and an Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield are the same. It's
Okay.
covered the same. The only thing that could possibly be different is who they participate with their fitness benefit.
Yeah, because they'll give you silver
Sneakers, or they give you, the other one. I always forget the name of it. But
The one we don't have here.
We don't have any right now.
Plan N,
No, Silver Sneakers is covered, Empire.
Yeah, but in this
Empire.
town, I don't think we have any gyms left.
Oh,
No.
well, no.
but with the Plan N, you have to satisfy your Part B deductible, which is going up to 200 and change.
Well, that's one visit.
Once,
203,
exactly,
yeah.
once you satisfy that, you have up to a $20 copay for your doctor's visit, whether it's a primary or a specialist,
How
up
much?
to $20,
That's
Okay.
it.
okay?
I can do
So
that.
what we tell people is if they go to the doctors 3.5 times a month,
Half
At
a
a-
visit.
half a visit at a full $20 copay, then it is worth you changing to the higher plan. And it's just doing math between the premium and the deductibles.
What do you mean by higher plan?
Then you
Like the G or the F.
But if you
You just
don't,
take how much G costs you a year, add up what you think, how many times you're gonna be at the doctor's and in the hospital and whatever for the other one, and take what's cheapest.
And if you're in the end plan,
you can always change.
you can always change.
For the
Like
next one.
Senta was saying, we had a guy who had his hip done one year and he had his knee done another year. And what he did was, he was in the end plan, he had satisfied his Part B deductible, so he just moved to the G. And he had no copays, he just paid the premium. He went through his physical therapy, got done, got rehab, got everything fixed, and then he just dropped right back down to the
But
end
your
again.
physical therapy doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it does. It's $20 copay because it's for an
No.
office visit.
I don't pay.
Do you have the F?
I have the N plan.
You have the N?
Mhm.
Because my husband paid
no, don't pay a thing, and I think I've spent most of my life going to the,
Well, that's a
Ah,
good thing,
yeah.
because he was getting charged up to $20.
No, I
Because
haven't
it's
been
an
to the
office visit.
No,
and he accepts what Medicare pays him.
All
Good.
right, then
All right,
that's it,
good.
because when I called on it, they said if it's office visit, because it says office visit, up to $20 on office visit, that you could be billed that, and we were billed.
no.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't say anything. Run.
Can I tell you that I'm on the end plan, as I said. I've had 4 procedures this year. I've had 3 epidurals, which cost over $30,000 for each one. And then I had surgery on my hand, which cost even more. And I paid $43.
No, I know, it's an excellent plan. That's what I'm on.
Yeah, I pay my 20 to the, weekly, that's my new hobby, going to the doctor.
It's called the Dr. Merry-Go-Round.
Yeah, so, I pay my 20 copay, and I get my prescriptions mail order, I never have to pay. And it's really, it's everything, every plan is costly according to your finances.
Yes, yes,
Exactly.
you have to go within your, comfortable, where you're comfortable with.
But I find my plan is perfect for me,
Mhm.
so,
And that's an N.
and.
An N.
That's the key, is finding what works for you and
See, the
covers your
F,
medical and your prescriptions best.
the F plan is working for me.
F,
And the N plan is really not that much different. I think maybe 80 some dollar monthly, which is a lot when you say that. But when you pay out for 7, 8 different doctor, $20 copayment, you're back where you started. So I go with the F plan, the F, and I am 100%. So I'm very happy with that. So everybody's different,
And as long as
N
it's
plan
covered.
wouldn't do for me.
Right,
I've traveled abroad, so I needed something that would cover me abroad.
now,
yeah.
it's limited though,
Yes,
you know
But
that.
at least it's something.
Right, it's 50,000, up to
Right.
50,000. You can
Now-
always buy travel insurance
Right.
because they're not gonna
Right.
transport you home.
Right.
So
Yeah,
the
but
I always say to people, it's inexpensive, you don't have to get just get the
COVID's
medical.
gotta be over before we can travel
I know,
anyway.
by then we'll be so old, we won't be able to travel, please. So if you have any questions, feel free to come, there's no obligation whatsoever. You can always stop and ask us, our opinion. And we have a lot, there's a lot more to Medicare than what we did today. You could study Medicare and all their rules. So,
It's a new degree.
it's a new degree, we should have a Medicare degree. So,
Okay, with the plan I have, then I pay for drugs.
Mhm.
That's a separate thing.
that's true with every supplement.
Okay, but with Advantage,
You
you
don't.
don't pay separately?
No, it's all combined, it's called A, here goes the government again. A plus B plus D equals C. So your A, your B, and your D is for drugs are all wound in one, become a Medicare Advantage plan, which they call C. Now, there are some Medicare Advantage plans, I'm gonna throw a curve, that don't have prescription drug coverage, and that works for union people, because see, if you have a prescription drug plan, and you sign up for a Medicare Advantage plan with prescription drug plan, because you think, oh boy, I have 2 plans, that's really gonna help me, it whacks you right out of the other plan, the
Yeah.
first plan, so you never do that, all right?
Also, it's for veterans.
Yes, veterans,
Who have to-
union, veterans, some people, nurses may get coverage, for their union for, and you don't wanna ruin that. So, because usually that coverage is better than what the coverage is they're gonna get on the, from Medicare. So, just remember, don't get 2 plans.
Cause it'll knock you out.
And you don't need, you can't have a supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan at the same time either.
Yes, if you're in a supplement and you go to an Advantage plan, make sure you
Cancel
cancel
it.
your supplement.
Otherwise
It
it
is not
keeps going.
automatically canceled. The prescription drug plan will be automatically canceled, but not your supplement. And we've run into that where
Yeah.
people have been paying 2 premiums because the person never advised them to cancel their supplement.
My doctor says, don't get out of the supplement, don't take more.
I know, but
She must be getting paid more, I don't know.
I think it's less, I don't know if they're paid more or if they don't have to jump through as many hoops, I don't know, you know, but.
The only trouble with the Advantage is you can't go, like if I go to Florida, I have to go crazy finding who takes.
Well, some of them have
that.
seamless networks,
Yeah.
you know.
If I wanna go to New York City, most of them do not take the Advantage.
Right, well, some do, some don't, you have to go check their website, you know, and also the Advantage plan, some are.
That's why I'm sticking to mine, it's good all over the whole world.
Good.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive comparing what everybody else pays for another one. I mean, I'm fighting City Hall here anyway, what's the difference? You know, you just pay the high price and that's all is to it.
Yeah.
So. And here's pens.